Thanks for swinging by the podcast. I'm Karen Slack, your resident spiritual life coach. I'm here to chat about life, spirituality, energy work, meditation, intuitive contemplation, and everything in between. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Know that your free will is your biggest superpower. And if you have any physical or mental health concerns, please seek a physical or mental health professional. Now, on to the episode. So, have you guys listened to the previous two episodes where we went through a healing blanket, a blanket of healing energy? 2 weeks ago, we went through a meditation or a meditative visualization of wrapping ourselves in a warm blanket of healing. And then last week we talked about that. And what it could mean and how it could support us. And I encourage you to go back and listen to that if you haven't, and keep that one on hand. Maybe save that episode because I think it really is a great episode to visit when we're not feeling well, or when we're physically not feeling well, mentally not feeling well, emotionally not feeling well. I think it can hit on many different levels. So I invite you to keep that one on hand. This week, just so I don't forget, I have the Field Tarot deck by Hannah Elizabeth Fofana in my hands. I'll be shuffling that softly. And on the background, I'm actually playing Chris Collins off of indiemusicbox.com. He has some nature sounds that I have so that I can put it in the background of a lot of my podcasts and meditations. And in general, this is a sound that I listen to in life on a regular basis. So we're going to touch base on that notion for a minute, a little nugget of energy hack, if you will. You get to hack your energy and support brightness, lightness, and good energy within your spaces and within your life. And you get to set intentions for this good energy. You get to influence your spaces with this good energy. And you get to learn what that looks like in your life and how these intention pieces or these intention notions get to show up. For me, one of the ways I do that, which I haven't done enough lately, and I appreciate this conversation so that I can remember to do it more often, is by playing in my background of my spaces things like nature sounds or spring day sounds or ocean waves or beach day sounds or forest sounds, things that remind me of bright, sunny, beautiful days. So that's one of your energy hacks for today. Self-spiritual energy. Not energy hacks as in how do you keep your house from losing heat. I'm not that kind of energy person. So that's one of your hacks for today for your good vibes, is to find a background noise that you enjoy that reminds you of a bright sunny day or open spaces or beautiful weather, and play it into the background. So if you hear that, if you hear noises like nature, that's what I'm doing today. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about that has been a part of our conversation in our house so much lately is becoming aware of things that help us feel comfortable, safe, comfortable and safe. But I would say for us, for this, let's talk about what makes us feel comfortable, what makes us feel safe, and what makes us feel positive. So I think I've shared on here before that we have conversations in my house about anxiety and what have you, and both of my children experience anxiety in different ways. And I've had really powerful conversations with both my eldest, who's in college, and my youngest, who is 8. And recently, her routine has been shifted up a little bit. This week, my husband is away on a training, and it has been me and her flying solo. And sometimes when her routine is shaken up like that, that has a tendency to trigger her anxiety a little bit. Now, we are really good at having found a nice rhythm and working with this and acknowledging it, and also giving her tools to move through it. And she has really actually reduced the anxiety that shows up in her life quite a bit. But when things get tossed up in the air, that anxiety shows up a little bit. And at 8, that shows up with a lot of fear. It shows up with an upset stomach. It shows up with more of a physical presentation of the anxiety. And now, as she's getting a little bit older, now that she's 8 versus 6, that physical presentation of that anxiety actually comes with more of a mental processing of those fears. And we talk through a lot of the fears that are coming up. And so I find myself hoping that I'm saying the right things and doing the right things. But one of the things that we have had in our conversation lately is, yes, we have these fears. Let's acknowledge them. Let's feel them. Let's talk about them. And let's also talk about what makes us feel comfortable and makes us feel safe. And I feel like that is a conversation that has the ability to help so many people on so many levels when we can have this conversation with ourselves or with others on a regular basis. So that's what we're here to do today. So when Ava is in a space where she is scared and her anxiety is happening, we will often, lately, we'll talk about, okay, what are some things that make you feel comfortable and make you feel safe? Whether in this moment or in general lately. So last night when we were in bed and she was having big feelings about Daddy being gone and nervous feelings about big fears that, whether I perceived them as rational or irrational, they were real to her. And so we talked about, okay, what are some things that make you feel comfortable and safe? And we talked about the fact that we are in the house and not in the weather, and that we can lock the doors, and the dog makes her feel safe, and her blankets make her feel comfortable, and having her daddy's blanket makes her feel safe and comfortable and cozy. And we had music playing in the background. We had flute meditation music, and she said the music made her feel comfortable and safe and cozy. And she said that me being there with her was making her feel cozy and comfortable. So being able to recognize the things within that moment and within that day that helped her find comfort and helped her feel safe was a reminder that while that anxiety was present, it didn't have to dominate her energy, and it wasn't all that was going on in that moment. And I feel like that is such a juicy nugget for us all to take on these days, to take those moments when we feel like something is dominating our awareness, dominating our energy, and taking us down a hole, whether it's anxiety, fear, depressive energies, overwhelm, frustration, jealousy, sadness, grief, all of that. Yes, we want to have the space to acknowledge what we're feeling. And at the same time, let's take a moment to anchor ourselves out of that and look at what offers us comfort, what offers us stability, what offers us safety within these current moments. This really helps us become grounded and aware of our current life story and not get lost in what could happen down the road. So that's what I would love to do with you today. I would love for you to take a moment with me in just a moment to touch base on what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel safe, stable, and positive, what makes you happy, what makes you feel bright. Let's start recognizing some of those things within our life. But first, let's draw a card. I am interrupting the podcast for just one moment to share some exciting new opportunities that I'm offering. This new offering I'm really excited about, and I feel like it really hits a nook that a lot of people are seeking and don't even realize it. So let me tell you about it. Appointmentless spiritual and energetic life coaching. I have clients that really benefit from coming in and doing the work that we do together, whether it's energy work or meditation or intuitive awareness and contemplation or tapping. They really appreciate having that hour session or that 90-minute session that they can come in person and be here and dedicate to that fully, whether it's here in person or virtually in person. They really appreciate having that time set aside. However, for some people, the whole notion of finding an hour or two within the week schedule that fits and scheduling it and getting here and doing all that feels overwhelming. And they're not ready to make that commitment yet. So now I'm offering appointmentless coaching to fit into that need. The way this works is that we don't actually ever have to connect in person, besides maybe a phone call, or if we both agree upon it, a video chat, or maybe a one-on-one session to really hone in on some juicy nuggets if we need to. However, most of this work gets to be done on your time, in your way, with your favorite modalities when you need it. We can connect through places like Telegram or Messenger or Marco Polo or email or voice memo or video messages, whatever feels consumable for you. We connect with your goals and what your favorite modalities are and how often you want those connections to happen. And then I share tips, tricks, ideas, activities, customized for what your goals are in our agreed upon platform for you to receive any time of the day that you like. So maybe I share it at 11 in the morning, but you can't look at it until 10 o'clock at night. Yet at 10 o'clock at night, you have that time to honor yourself. So instead of doom scrolling at 10 o'clock at night, you have this personalized spiritual and energetic self-care content that you get to consume to honor yourself and to work on your goals or to find peace or to find awareness, whatever it is. How does that not sound like a really juicy opportunity for those that can't quite make it to an appointment or are stressed out with even having to figure it out? If you're interested in knowing more about appointmentless spiritual and energetic life coaching, reach out to me and we can chat about it. We're going to draw a card from the Field Tarot deck. Bring you over here. Meditation. So it's hard to see this because there's so much light. When we first look at this cup or this card, there's so much brightness that it's hard to see. When we first look at this, these cups are running over. They're so full that they're running over. And the tagline on this is meditation. And I love this mind, body, emotional self, soulful self, or spiritual self. Physical self, mental self, emotional self, spiritual self. And when we embrace the notion of meditation and meditative moments in our life, we fill our cups up in all of that area. We talk about filling up our cup. We talk about filling up our energy and replenishing our energy. And if we don't fill our own cup up, we don't have anything to offer anybody else. So nourishing ourselves, honoring ourselves positive energy, filling our goodness back up is an important part of our process. And one of the ways we can do that is reconnecting with what makes us feel comfortable, what makes us feel safe, and what makes us feel happy. Those are 3 questions that can go a long way to support our energetic self-care these days. When I first drew it, it was upside down. And when you look at it upside down, for some reason, the first thing that kicked into my mind when this was upside down is that these cups are spilling out. Things are spilling out of these cups. And being aware of how much energy we're losing and how quickly we're losing it. That was another thing that came up when it was reversed, is like these cups are losing that stuff. Things are spilling out all over the place and we are losing energy. And that's another point of awareness that we get to embrace from this card, is we get to honor where we are sharing our energy, where we are spending this energy within our life. And are we allowing scenarios in our life to shake us up so that we're spilling more energy than what we need to? So you get to be aware of how you're nourishing your energy and what energy you're giving away and how much of it you're giving away. So often to get stuck in mindless patterns and give so much of our energy away to so many things within our life. I am there with you. I do it. I did it this morning. I started my day out with a doom scroll, and it was a not pleasant thing. Pulling myself back, reminding myself what's going on in this moment, what's here in this moment to fill my cup and to nurture my energy physically, to nurture my energy mentally, to nurture my energy emotionally, to nurture my energy spiritually. What fills this cup back up and nourishes me? So that I then have what I need to nourish those within my life and to support those within my life. This gets to be a part of our daily conversation. So to foster this kind of notion, I would love for you to do a bit of a, we're going to call it a micro activity with me. We're going to bring this closer. Hopefully increase our nature sounds within our vibe a little bit. I'm going to go home tonight and I'm going to play nature and spring sounds all through my house. I'm excited now that we've had this conversation. Okay, so we're going to take a moment. We're going to place our hands on our heart. If you're able to close your eyes nicely, if you're able to place your hands on your heart, have at it. If you're not, that's okay. And you're going to take a deep breath. Inhaling for as long as you can and exhaling for as long as you can. We're going to do one more, and we're going to allow this breath to give us permission to be in this moment. And then I want you just to hear this next affirmation. Maybe repeat it in your mind if you want. This is our intention for this activity. Even though I have experienced anxiousness, or I have experienced overwhelm, or I've experienced fear, even though I may have experienced instability, I welcome comfort, safety, and brightness into my life. Even though I have experienced fear, anxiousness, overwhelm, and instability, I welcome brightness, comfort, and safety within my life. Now I want you to think of one thing that offers you comfort, whether in this moment or within the last day or so. What is one thing that has offered you comfort? It can be something small, like your pillow, or a smile from a stranger. It could be something like a long hug from a loved one. It could be your favorite blanket, or it could be a song or a podcast or a book that you're reading. What is one thing that has offered you comfort? And maybe you've already thought of 4 things. How abundant is that to have at least one thing to offer us comfort and possibly 4 things to offer us comfort? Even if it feels small, it gets to be a big deal in this moment. Breathe. Let that energy sink in. Now I want you to think of one thing that has made you feel safe over the past few days. What is one thing that has made you feel safe? Maybe it's your seatbelt in your car. Maybe it's the locks on your door. Maybe it's the heat in your house that's made you feel safe from the cold. Maybe it's a fridge full of food. Maybe it's your body. Maybe it's a loved one that makes you feel safe. Maybe it's your feet planted on the earth. Maybe it's how you celebrate your faith. Maybe that helps to bring you safety. Allow yourself to breathe and marinate in these notions. How abundant is it that we have at least one thing in our life to make us feel safe, if not multiple things to make us feel safe? In this moment, today. It's okay, those worries, those thoughts of the future, they'll be there when we get done. For now, we're focusing on this moment right now. And for our last notion, what has brought brightness and joy into your life lately? What's one thing that has brought brightness and joy into your life lately? Maybe it's your favorite song. Maybe it's the smile of a child. Maybe it's an intention piece that you carry with you. Maybe it's a color or a sound. Maybe it's gratitude offered to you from somebody. Maybe it's appreciation that was shared with you. Maybe it's a comedy or a comedian that you listen to. Maybe it's belly laughs with a friend. Maybe it's a gift you were offered. Or a gift that you offered yourself. What is one thing that has brought you brightness and joy within your life? And maybe you've already thought of 2 or 3 things that have brought you brightness and joy. How abundant is that to have so many things that possibly could bring you brightness and joy in this moment today? Finish off with a deep cleansing breath. Honoring this energy that is in your life today. Take this activity with you. Carry it with you, pulling it out whenever you need, reminding yourself to focus on what helps you feel comfortable, safe, and bright within your day. Even if there are other things that are challenging you that are showing up in life. We get to acknowledge both. Thank you for being here on the podcast. If there's any topics that you want to touch base on or any questions you have, feel free to reach out. And if you would like to work more on these kind of notions and foster some spiritual and energetic self-care in your life, I'm here to support you. Let's talk about our options. And always celebrate your uniquely beautiful self.